I'm standing on the small village green, and around me are some of the most wonderful thatched cottages I've ever seen. And to my left through the trees I can see an old stone church. I could be in a Dorset village of a Thomas Hardy novel, but actually I'm on the outskirts of Bridgend in mid-Glamorgan in the picturesque village of Merthyr Mawr. And with me today is Anne Morris, a local lady with a keen interest in local history. Hello, Anne.
Hello, Colin.
What can you tell me about Merthyr Mawr?
Well, I believe that the proper name for Merthyr Mawr is Merthyr Mawr or Mawr, named after a little-known Welsh saint. It dates back to early medieval times, I believe, and there was an ancient sub-manor and a place of early religious significance.
So what does Merthyr Mawr to offer, say, to a family on a day out?
Well, apart from the village itself, there are a couple of interesting bridges, and families and the kids, can enjoy a picnic on the riverbank, and some stepping stones to where you can cross the River Iweni, that is, and over to Ogmore Castle. And children have great fun trying not to fall in. Sand dunes, we always used to call it the sand hills, and castle ruins. It's great fun, and of course it doesn't cost you the earth these days, and it's a change from going to places like Porthcawl or Barry, and it's great. I used to come here as a child with my parents, and then when I got married and had children, I used to bring them down here as well, and we used to have great fun on the sand hills, and bring a picnic down, and there's nothing like a bit of sand with your egg sandwiches.
That's right. Right, well, can we explore a little bit? We'll just have a little walk around, if you don't mind.
Yes, fine.
We've just walked down now to a small lane to the left of the village green to what looks like a miniature version of the Severn Suspension Bridge, which crosses over the River Ogmore. How old is this bridge, Anne?
Well, the first bridge on this spot was erected by Sir John Nichol in, I believe, 1843. And this first bridge was notorious for its pronounced sideways motion, being commonly known as the swing bridge. It was replaced in the 60s by the present bridge, but still known locally as the swinging bridge.
Yes, I was going to ask why it's called a swinging bridge, but I can see why now. It still sways a little bit, doesn't it? It's a lovely spot for the children at the riverbank here.
Yes, in the summer you can see children playing on the riverbank with their fishing nets. They're a great time.
Well, all I can see at the moment is a dog swimming in the water. He's really enjoying himself, and it's quite a surprising amount of people here today, It's right, so perhaps we can move on. We've now crossed the Swinger Bridge. Now we're heading towards the Iweni River and some strange stepping stones which lead to Ogmore Castle.
Yeah, Colin, these stones are listed as an ancient monument, and I believe they date from very early medieval times. At one time there were 52 stones visible, but through silt and that, much fewer can be seen today.
So what actually was the purpose of the stones, Anne, do you know?
Well, they just provided a way to cross the river on foot, and stay dry, of course. Mm-hmm. One of the legends has it that they were laid for a lovesick girl who lived in the castle. Her lover lived across the river, and their meetings were impeded by tides and floods. Apparently the stones served their purpose because the lovers married in, I think, 1233.
Oh, so he was a very determined man then. Yeah? Knowing my luck, I'd have probably fallen in and drowned. Right, so we're back now to the village green, and we're going to take a short drive further along the lane to Candlestone Castle. We've arrived now at a fairly large car parking area amongst some trees. A beautiful setting, all bluebells and flowers, and right in front of me here is Candlestone Castle.
Well, it's not really a castle, Colin. It was a fortified manor house. The name Candlestone is probably derived from the de Cantilupe family, who built the manor house here in the late 14th century. The lands of the manor later became covered with sand dunes and valueless, you know, but the building remained occupied until the 19th century.
I understand, and it was a village stood here once. A Treganlord is called?
In English, supposed to be called the town of 100 hands. Why it was called this, I'm not sure, but there's not much known about it now, about the village, but it was supposed to be situated near to the manor house. What happened in the end to it and its inhabitants is just not known, but there is the possibility that it was covered by the moving sands from the nearby dunes.
So we could be standing in someone's house.
Yes, yeah.
And in front of me I can see the largest sand dunes I've ever seen. I believe the present dunes are once part of the largest sand dune complex in Britain, which stretched all the way to the Mumbles.
That's right, Colin, yeah. And it's also great fun for the children, as I said before, you know. You can have some great fun here. And actually, too, some of the scenes from the film Lawrence of Arabia were filmed here.
Okay then, well, we'll move on now. I think we'll go and have a look at this other bridge. What was it called? The Dipping Bridge?
The Dipping Bridge, Colin,
okay.
yes.
Thanks very much, Anne. Well, now we've driven out of the picture postcard village of Merthyr Mawr to what the locals call the Dipping Bridge. So why do they call it a Dipping Bridge, Anne?
Well, there's holes in the parapets, Colin, where farmers used to push their very reluctant sheep into the River Ogbo for a seasonal dip. It was built in the 15th century. But now it's very popular with local children.
Well, it's not many here today, but the children actually jump off the bridge into the river, do you know?
Oh yeah.
Or they get pushed like a sheep through the holes.
That's more like it, yeah, that they probably were. They were pushed, yeah.
I've also heard that it's got a more sinister side of its history.
Oh yes, gosh, yeah. Legend has it that at the side of the bridge there was once an inn, and the landlord would rob and murder the pilgrims en route to the shrine at St David's. And it is said that many, many years later, workmen discovered skeletons in the grounds of the inn.
Oh my good gosh.
Yep.
Oh. Well, a gory finish to an otherwise great day in the picture postcard village of Merthyr Mawr. And thank you very much for taking the time and giving me such an interesting tour of one of the hidden gems of Wales.
Oh, pleasure, Colin.
Thank you.